Hey, what's up? It is Friday, the 11th of November. Um, I just want to first off say it's Remembrance Day. So, as although I don't personally know anyone who died in all the wars we fought, and although I don't agree with most wars that we fight, the two at the start of the 20th century are really quite prominent, and for that, uh, I'll do the cheesy thing and just say Um, I don't want to say lest we forget. I just, oh god, how fucking brain dead is that? I actually have an opinion on it. I just want to say, to anyone listening, it's it was the last time I think, maybe the 60s, but the 40s and the 19s, were where the country really got together and fought against a common enemy, and went a divided country, and really everyone's use of time was maximized, and everyone had a purpose in the country, and that's the same for said for most countries who fought in World War One too, and and also the reason to go to war was to defeat a common. It was to defeat an idea that was actually a legitimate threat and a movement, but a completely racist movement, unlike Trump. But anyway, so all I'm going to say for this is those days, however friggin' awful and sorrowful they were, they're the reason we've got this democracy we have today. So don't know how to sign this off. Thank you for your oh god, cheesy. I'll be wearing a poppy. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. And yeah. Right. So, what am I talking about today? Do you know what? This throughout this U.S. presidential election, I've actually had a bit more material to say. Stuff there's been often quite a few podcasts where I've come on and just had nothing to say at all. But I've had quite a strong opinion about this election, and kind of now it's over, I'm a bit like, what do I say? But at least the pandemonium and the hysteria that I'd completely predicted is absolutely in full swing. So there's a few things I'd like to say. First of all, I read an article that I completely agreed with, and I was thinking about before I read it. I guess my opinion on why Trump won wasn't. It isn't because everybody's a racist, everybody's a sexist, everybody's a homophobe. It's because he appealed to the working class, and he appealed to people who have been constantly fucked over by the government and politicians, and people who promised them all this stuff, and then by the time they got into full flown work, they didn't get anything done. Look, I shared something today on my Facebooks of photos of Obama and how legitimately great a guy I think he is. A role model. Someone said there was just no controversy with him and his wife. There's not. He was always in the papers for what he was trying to do and what he believed in, which is a perfect, for me, example of a good leader, rather than, especially in the celebrity time of kind of try and find who Obama cheated on, try and find who Obama's kids are, all that stuff. There was never a peep of that. In 8 years, being in such a focused spotlight is just the most commendable thing I can say to Barack Obama and the Obamas. I think they're an absolute credit to humanity as people. As a guy who tried to get stuff done, I understand that he literally got blocked out of most of the stuff that he tried to do. I remember when there was that shooting in the gay club, there was the shooting in the kids' school, There was another shooting. There was the guy going around LA shooting everybody, and there was all this call for banning guns and stuff, and I was absolutely for it, because I mean I look in the UK and but then I was for it in idea, but actually as a friggin' thing to put forward to Americans who all are legitimate gun owners, it's I don't think it's practical. I don't know what the solution is to the gun thing. I'm sure. I'm actually interested to see during the Trump presidency, because there's going to be far more mass shootings in America, because they actually do have a problem. But I guess that I'm interested to see how Trump would deal with the mass shooting, because he seems to blame everything on everyone else. And I know he's not going to try and fix the gun epidemic in the States, so I'm really quite interested. And if that happens early on in his presidency, good Lord, it's going to make life hard for him, especially if he doesn't address it like a president would. I've got to say, Trump's victory speech was really quite presidential. It wasn't gloating. It was humbling. It was, okay, where it doesn't matter if you're Republican. Of all this portrayal of what Trump's like, to come out and deliver a speech like that, doesn't matter if you voted for me, against me, you are an American. Well done for Hillary, I sincerely mean. You've put up a great fight, and you're a credit to this country. All that stuff. Actually, like, when I watch that, all this portrayal of what he's gonna do, he's an idiotic guy. It's absolutely, especially on a night where he could have been. Had he came up and said, "Yeah, USA, USA," and ran his mouth and tore the house down, like liberals think that's the way he is, then I would legitimately be worried. But I knew it. I saw he's behind him is a cool, calculated guy. You don't get to 70 and billions of dollars without being so, surely. And I was speaking to my friend about this yesterday, but I think it's quite funny. As a white, straight man, we've been called, especially by the left. I don't know where I stand. I don't know if I'm right or left. At the minute, I'm kind of right. But I have a lot of leftist values as well. So, but again, I don't like categorizing myself. Anyway, but especially from the left, us white, straight males who are physically able have just been called worse than shit by these feminists. Do you know what's annoying as well? Every girl I meet who legitimately thinks like quite smart and intelligent brings up that they're feminist, and I think there's a disconnect there between, because I actually don't think they mean. There's a disconnect there between what they think feminism is and what for everyone else feminism is. So when I hear the word feminism, I'm just it's man hating. It's constant. It's language policing. It's everything you do, especially as a white straight guy, is constantly under scrutiny. This manspreading, this mansplaining. It's just constant hate. But I understand that as soon as the movement gets big, that's what happens, isn't it? It's kind of what you do is you go from being oppressed to go and complain about everything that you hate about, and then sometimes you to make progress from being that oppressed, you go all the way at the top, the other way, and then you find a kind of middle ground. I guess that's where feminism is heading. Hopefully it dies down. But I just find it funny. Oh God, I'm babbling. I find it funny that that all these girls or all these women, these feminists who've constantly have berated us for at least 4 or 5 years, for us who I just get on with life. I don't really do anything. If you're a lady, then I treat you accordingly like I would any other person. If you're black, same thing. Gay, I've got a lot of gay friends, or I know a lot of gay people. And I've got girls who are friends, and I actually don't have any per se black friends, but where I live is kind of a white population. But I just love how they needed the vote, or they to get Hillary elected. This whole feminist movement, they think, would have reached its peak. They needed the white male guys to get involved, and we just absolutely destroyed them the other way. Just it was our one chance in years just to go, fuck everything you're saying. I think, yeah. I think it was a lot of guys, white guys, voting for Trump. Obviously, clearly that's what's come out in the stats. Have vented a silent frustration against not just the establishment, but the people who vote for Hillary. Because a lot of those people who voted for Hillary were really against Hillary before she got made Democratic Party nominee. They were all pro Bernie, and I was really pro Bernie. I was actually sorry, what's in my mouth? Hair. I was really pro Bernie. I wanted Bernie over anyone, and then when he lost to Hillary in the way he did, which I still think is really questionable. I couldn't get on board Hillary. I'm so anti-Hillary. Not because she's a woman, for God's sakes. Thank God she's not a black woman, because by God, anyone who didn't vote for Hillary is now going to be a sexist. Well, apparently that's what we all are. If I didn't vote for Trump, I wasn't even involved in this election. But okay, let's wrap this up. Pretty much what I'm saying is, there's more, especially with my age people. I think this election's made me realise that I don't share a common political common ground, I guess, with people of my age. I'm quite an outnumbered 25-year-old. I'd like to class myself as free thinking. I always try to take every side of a story and make my own opinion up of it. And I just don't think... I think it might be a struggle for me in the next 20, 30 years. But then again, no, the Trump vote kind of solidified to me that there is other people my age who just, you know what, see through a lot of Hillary's bullshit, see through a lot of the establishment's bullshit. There's not... I don't think there's many racist or sexist or anything Republican... Well, not Republicans, but people my age. We've grown up in such a multicultural society that I think the new age of kind of people who lean to the right are actually genuinely... This whole I don't see colour thing from the left, it's like, no, we're going to just treat you like a dude anyway. And I think that's the message they're trying to come across. But to patronize so badly as a white person to say, I don't see you, I don't recognize you as black. It's like, you know what I'm trying to say? I think I'd feel, if I was a black person, I'd feel so patronized towards that. It's like, no, I am a black guy, but I'm still a guy. That's how it should, you know? Why would, if someone came up to me and, I don't, well, see, again, I'm an able white straight guy, but I'd like everyone to recognize everything about me and then treat me accordingly, instead of just try to ignore something that I probably am proud to be or proud to hold. So there's this constant kind of language and political struggle going on at the minute. There is, most countries are divided around the world at the minute, very 50-50. It's very volatile. But I don't know. I hope in the next... I just want to see, especially in the UK, jobs coming back, creative industries coming back, or I don't know if they're... I really don't know much of our own history, but I just want to see bloody us manufacturing our own stuff, us shipping our own stuff, us creating our own companies and creating our own infrastructure, and not just having everything. You know, America, back in the UK, we used to manufacture all our cars. We used to manufacture shitloads of stuff, and the same with the States. They used to manufacture most of their things, especially cars as well. Cars were a big thing, I guess. Stuff like, even like just plastics, metals, just bringing back an infrastructure to a country instead of this whole globalized. I just want people to have jobs. I want people to be able to work. And when people work, they have enough money to live on, and they don't need the benefits because they've got a healthy living. I want that middle class back, and that's exactly what Bernie wanted. And I think, I'd honestly, Trump is not out to get you if you're an American listening to this, or whatever, if you're a westernized person. He's not out to get you. He wants to see prosperity in his country. And that's what I'm all for. And if that's the same over here, absolutely. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of all I've got to say about that. And, yeah, I guess I'll speak to you next week, where hopefully this has all died down. All right, take care.